Every priest will have experienced the question being asked of him, why did you want to become a priest? And it's not a simple question to answer, because the priesthood is not a personal project or ambition or career direction, but is always something unexpected. Even when that calling takes shape from the youngest years, there is something distinctly unexpected and wonderful, that a priest has been called from all eternity, with his limitations and weaknesses, to share in the ministerial priesthood of Christ himself. And that's an abiding sense of wonder with which a priest is left for the whole of his lifetime.
The priesthood is a calling. That's what vocation means, a calling. Just as Jesus called his apostles, we believe that each of us has been called to the priesthood. It doesn't mean that you hear an audible voice saying, come to the priesthood, but you know within yourself in an inescapable way in the end that Jesus really wants this of you.
And remember, so often in the Gospels, when our Lord calls people to him, he just says, follow me. And we hear in the Gospel they got up and followed him. There was no committee. There was no, oh Lord, let's talk about this. Oh no, I need to go and think about it. Oh, it was literally, follow me, and they did. And that's an important part of being a priest too, that you've been called, and so you should follow, and you should live out that ministry.
When I was called to become a priest, I was working in business, and I had not planned to be a priest, but the call came, and the call was insistent. So being a businessman, I did a cost-benefit analysis. I said it's going to cost my life, but it's all about the formation of souls. And in long term, that's the only thing that lasts, the human soul. So it seemed like the best long-term investment. So that might sound like an emptying, a sacrifice. But what I hadn't expected was how fruitful it will be, and has already been. One thing, a priest is never bored. I mean, literally, something extraordinary happens every day, even apart from the sacraments. And it's very fruitful.
The call to the priesthood for me didn't come as a thunderbolt from the sky. And I think that's good for people to remember. I don't think it happens like that for many people. And I didn't have a certainty from a long age. What I had was a growing sort of dissatisfaction with the life I was in. And I knew the life I was in as a lawyer and with a lovely girlfriend wasn't bad, but I was searching for something more. And I came across the Dominicans, first through a Dominican sister and then subsequently some friars, and I saw this joy, and I saw these elements of life which I was trying to live in my own life, and they were in tension, but in the order, the sort of prayer, the community, the preaching, the study, all these were integrated in one holy way of life. And I started to be excited by the possibility of that, and then realized if I didn't give this a go, I was never going to be able to move forwards in life.
So I'm incredibly grateful to my parents for my baptism and bringing me up in the faith and teaching me about prayer and life. But in all honesty, what shifted me from where I was and the road that I felt like I was going on, the road that I felt that would lead to happiness, was difficulties and tragedies along the way that really stopped me and made me to ask new questions. When I saw the fragility of life through family, difficulties and circumstances, I guess my heart and my mind sought for a place of stability. What doesn't change? Where will my happiness come from? And those questions opened me up to God in a new way. And through prayer, examples, the lives of the saints, I began to feel a deeper fire within that spoke to me about a God who desired to give me that kind of happiness. And then the ears of my heart, so to speak, were open afresh to the possibility of priesthood.
The call to the priesthood is something that a man must respond with calmness, but also with a sense of urgency, to take that first step in responding to that sense of calling. And we see this on the shoreline of Galilee, where the first to be called were able to respond so calmly and yet so immediately to that invitation, follow me.